Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Anand here and you are watching the one and only channel on YouTube that is owned by me. This is Let's Talk। और दोस्तों आज हम सीखने वाले हैं कुछ ऐसे कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न्स के बारे में, कुछ ऐसे बुलिश कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न्स के बारे में जो बहुत ही फ्रीक्वेंटली कैंडलस्टिक चार्ट्स पर देखने को मिलती है। और अगर आपने इन कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न्स को सही वक्त पर पहचान लिया, स्पॉट कर लिया, तो आप बहुत ही उम्दा यानी कि क्वालिटी ट्रेड्स ले सकते हैं विथ वेरी वेरी गुड प्रॉफिट्स। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। नाउ द वेरी फर्स्ट कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न जो मेरे ओपिनियन में सबसे ज़्यादा कॉमन है और जो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग बुलिश सिग्नल देता है वो है द हैमर। लेट्स सी हाउ इट लुक्स लाइक। एंड दिस इज हाउ अ हैमर लुक्स लाइक। ये एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग बुलिश ट्रेंड रिवर्सल पैटर्न माना जाता है और अगर आपको एक अच्छा हैमर एक अच्छे वॉल्यूम के साथ मिल जाता है then nothing like it. Point to be noted is that if you look at the hammer candlestick, the body of the hammer is very small and the wick of the hammer has to be at least twice the size of the body. Body से 2 गुना ज़्यादा लंबी उसकी wick होना चाहिए। Now a hammer could be a standing hammer, it could also be an inverted hammer, but doesn't matter because both of them are equally bullish. Also note that a very good hammer might not have a second wick, और अगर दूसरी wick होती भी है then it has to be so small that it's almost negligible. The color of the hammer does not matter, be it black, be it white, it's all the same. A hammer is a very good trend reversal candle. So here you can see a black bodied hammer at the bottom of a downtrend. और ये एक और एग्जाम्पल है हैमर का। जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट द रैली दैट केम आफ्टर दैट। अब जो दूसरा कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न है वो भी कैंडलस्टिक चार्ट्स पर काफी फ्रीक्वेंटली ऑकरिंग पैटर्न है। इट इज अ 2 कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न एंड द नेम ऑफ दिस पैटर्न इज बुलिश हरामी। And this is how a bullish Harami pattern looks like. You can see that the very first candle is a big black candle and the second candle opens slightly higher than where the previous black candle closed and makes a small white body. ये important है इस पैटर्न में नोटिस करना कि जो दूसरी कैंडल है the white candle is positioned somewhere in the middle of the previous black candle. Let's see how bullish Harami looks like on the charts. So here you can see that after a good fall in price, the bullish Harami pattern occurred and boom, the price went up. Yet another example of bullish Harami. You can see that the prices fell down, the pattern occurred and rally. Now the third candlestick pattern in my list is also a 2 candlestick pattern and this pattern is comparatively easy to spot. The name of this candlestick pattern is Bullish Engulfing. And this is how a bullish engulfing pattern looks like. आप देख सकते हो कि यहाँ पर 2 कैंडल हैं. The very first candle is a small black bodied candle and the second candle is a white candle which is so big that it covers the entire body of the first black candle. Point to be noted here is that the white candle will open a little bit below from where the black candle closed and go all the way covering the entire body of the black candle and close above the body of the black candle. Here's how the bullish engulfing pattern looks like on the charts. So here is the very first example of bullish engulfing followed by the upward movement in price. Here's another one of those examples and you can see the rally that comes after the bullish engulfing pattern. Now the fourth candlestick pattern in my list is also quite a bullish trend reversal signal. It's also a 2 candlestick pattern and quite common to spot on the charts. It's called the Bullish Sash. So my friends, this is how a bull sash pattern looks like. The first candle is always going to be a black candle, and the second candle is always going to be a white candle. Here the unique thing is that the second candle, which is the white candle, has opened slightly above where the previous black candle closed, thus making a gap. This particular gap is called a pro gap. Because of this gap, the second white candle appears as if it's trying to jump and look taller than the previous black candle. ये वाला जो गैप होता है, ये एक अनट्रेंड आई को विजिबल नहीं है, but maybe if you try and look at both of these candles on a smaller time frame, the gap might be quite visible to you. But this is how bull sash pattern looks like, and let's try and find how the pattern looks like on the candlestick charts. So here is a very first example where I found two bull sash pattern for you. And again, a bull sash pattern, and boom, the price went up. And the last bullish pattern that I've got for you is quite honestly a very rare pattern that forms on the candlestick chart. और rare ही नहीं, ये वाला जो pattern है वो काफ़ी difficult है spot करने के लिए भी. लेकिन ये pattern को include करना इसीलिए ज़रूरी था क्योंकि अगर ये वाला पैटर्न आपको किसी भी स्टॉक के चार्ट पर एक 52 वीक लो पर, या आपका जो सबसे बॉटम मोस्ट सपोर्ट लाइन है वहाँ पर मिल जाता है, तो उस पर्टिकुलर स्क्रिप्ट को आप बहुत ही कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ और अग्रेसिवली ट्रेड कर सकते हो. इस पैटर्न का नाम है द ट्वीजर बॉटम. And this is how a tweezer bottom looks like on the candlestick chart. इस पैटर्न को रिकग्नाइज करना इसीलिए ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाता है क्योंकि इस पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न में आपको कैंडल्स को नहीं बल्कि उनकी लोअर टिप्स को देखना है, उनकी लोअर विक्स को देखना है. You have to make sure that the lows of both the candles are either the same or maximum 5 पैसे apart from each other. जी हाँ, the difference between the wicks can maximum be 0.05 points apart from each other, thus making the candlestick pattern a tweezer bottom. And here is an example of tweezer bottom. So you can see that the value of the low made by first candle is 124, whereas the value of the low made by second candle is 124.05, just 5 paise apart from each other. Thus, it's a valid tweezer bottom pattern. Now, let's see where to spot these patterns on the charts and how to effectively trade them. Now, whenever the price of the share falls and approaches towards your support line, और सपोर्ट लाइन पर आकर अगर वो हैमर बनाता है या इन्वर्टेड हैमर बनाता है या बुलिश हरामी बनाता है या एंगल्फिंग पैटर्न बनाता है, इवन बुल स्लैश और ट्वीजर बॉटम, बेसिकली एनी बुलिश पैटर्न अगर आपके सपोर्ट लाइन पर बनता है, दिस इज द प्लेस वेर यू कैन एंटर दैट पर्टिकुलर स्क्रिप्ट एंड बुक गुड प्रॉफिट्स. So those were my top 5 bullish patterns. अब बात करते हैं इन bullish patterns के counter bearish patterns के बारे में. So here is the list of my top 5 bearish patterns that occur frequently on the candlestick charts. Here we go. Now the very first pattern in this list is a bearish counterpart to hammer and inverted hammer. In my opinion, these particular candlesticks give a very strong sell signal, and obviously because they are bearish, you will find them on your resistance line. I'm talking about hangmans and shooting stars. Now this is how a hangman and a shooting star looks like. Confused? Confusion तो बनता है because you notice that they look exactly like their bullish counterparts, the hammer and the inverted hammer. यहाँ पर डिफरेंस सिर्फ ये है कि जो हैमर और इन्वर्टेड हैमर है, you will always and always find them on your support line, whereas hangmans and shooting stars will always make an appearance on your resistance line. Of course, because hangman and shooting star are bearish trend reversal candles. अगर आप appearance wise या look wise देखो, so they are exactly the same as hammer and inverted hammer. For example, even the hangman and shooting star have got small bodies, their wicks are twice the size of their body, and there is either no second wick, or if there is a second wick, it would be very very small, so small that it's almost negligible. आइए देखते हैं कि ये कैंडलस्टिक चार्ट्स पर कैसे दिखते हैं. Here you can see a hangman appearing at the very top, and just look at the fall that came afterwards. And this chart shows you how a shooting star works. The next candlestick pattern is the bearish counterpart of Bullish Harami. The name of this pattern is Bearish Harami. तो आप देख सकते हो कि बेरिश हरामी पैटर्न भी बिल्कुल बुलिश हरामी पैटर्न की तरह दिखता है. द ओनली डिफरेंस हियर इज दैट द कलर ऑफ द कैंडल्स हैव इंटरचेंज्ड. यहाँ पर जो पहली कैंडल है इज अ वाइट कैंडल, and the second candle is a black candle that has opened gap down and more or less is centrally located with respect to the body of the first white candle. Let's see how bearish harami looks like on the chart. So here you can see a bearish harami making an appearance, and then the fall that came afterwards. The third pattern in my list is a bearish counterpart to the bullish engulfing pattern. The name of this pattern is Bearish Engulfing. And this is how bearish engulfing pattern looks like. आप देख सकते हो कि जो पहली कैंडल है वो एक छोटी सी वाइट कैंडल है. The second candle opened gap up and went all the way down, closing below the body of the first white candle, in process engulfing it completely or covering it up completely. This pattern is called the bearish engulfing, and let's see how it looks like on the charts. And here is an example of bearish engulfing pattern appearing at the very top with the fall that followed later. The fourth candlestick pattern in this list is the bearish counterpart to bull sash, and the name of this pattern is, you guessed it right, the bear sash. And this, my friends, is how the bear sash pattern looks like. Here you can see that there are two candles. The very first candle is a white candle, and the second candle has opened a little bit gap down from where the previous white candle closed, and went all the way down and closed even below the body of the white candle, thus completing the pattern bear sash. Let's see how it looks like on the charts. And here you can see bear sash at work. Again, a very very good trend reversal pattern. And the last candlestick pattern in this list of my top 5 most bearish patterns on candlestick chart is quite a rare pattern to form and a difficult pattern to spot. The name of this pattern is tweezer top. And this, my friend, is the tweezer top pattern. आपको याद होगा जब हम tweezer bottom के बारे में पढ़ रहे थे. When we were learning about tweezer bottom, I told you that in tweezer bottom, we have to compare the lows of both the candles in the pattern and make sure that their values is either the same or maximum 0.05 points apart from each other. उसी तरह tweezer top में आप लोज नहीं बल्कि कैंडल्स के हाइज को कंपेयर करोगे, एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ द क्राइटेरिया रिमेन्स द सेम. वी जस्ट हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट द वैल्यूज ऑफ द हाइज और द टिप्स ऑफ बोथ द कैंडल्स इन द पैटर्न इज ईदर द सेम और maximum at the difference of 0.05 paise from each other. Let's see how this pattern looks like on the charts. And this is how tweezer top looks like, a very strong signal of a huge fall that might come. Now, since you have seen all the bearish patterns, let's see where you can spot them on your candlestick charts and how you can trade them. Now imagine that the price of the share is going up and heading towards your resistance line. And the moment it reaches your resistance line, if it makes a shooting star or a hangman or a bearish harami or a bearish engulfing or a bearish sash pattern or even a tweezer top or basically any bearish pattern there are, understand that this is a very strong signal for you to either exit your position in that particular share or at least consider short selling. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, this was my list of top 5 most bullish and bearish patterns on candlestick charts. Now of course और भी बहुत सारे पैटर्न्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे कैंडल फॉर्मेशन होते हैं, जैसे कि डार्क क्लाउड कवर, there is a pattern called as piercing line pattern, there is a pattern called as evening star, there is morning star, etc, etc, etc. And it is always good that you know and you learn about other patterns as well, just apart from what we have covered in this video, as they say that the process of learning is infinite. But for now, let us summarize and see what we have seen in this video so far. So here is a visual of all the patterns that we have covered so far in this video. All the bullish patterns are at the bottom and all their bearish counterparts are listed on the top. Remember that all the bullish patterns are valid and tradable only and only if they form at your support line, and all the bearish patterns are valid and tradable if they appear on your resistance. So friends, if you like this video, if you found it informative, if you found it useful, then make sure that you also share it among all your other friends and your circle of traders so that even they can benefit out of it. And also make sure that before you leave, you are hitting on those like and subscribe buttons, because you see, to the YouTube content creators like us, it is only your likes and subscriptions that keeps us motivated to bring more such videos to you. So until we meet next time, make sure that you stay safe, be happy and keep trading. Ciao.